Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another live stream of the Results Kill Excuses Self Improvement Sunday show. We've been having some really, really good sessions here. So I hope that you stay tuned throughout this talk slash guided breathwork exercise, guided visualization, and you never know, we may do some other fun stuff. What's up, my man Anthony? How you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope life is full of challenges. It's hard for us to embrace the challenges of life. And I feel like this past week, the real energy that's been channeling through me has been a lot on self-awareness and understanding what people need to do to bridge the gap, right, between the thinking mind and the programmed mind and the things that you got going on. What's up, Brian? Good morning, my brother. And to be able to connect with your emotions, something I talked about that has really been it's been a huge revelation even for myself along this 12-year healing journey, was understanding that as I look back, I don't dwell on the past, but I'm trying to learn from it so that I can be. It's so important that whatever you're desiring, that you need to start being that. And writing this stuff down helps tremendously. But what I realized is that, again, I had codependency, trauma bonding wounds with my mother because of the crazy violence that we experienced, and at the hands of my father. And yet, most men, I'm talking to men, boys, most men, and some girls, right? Girls are often told to be seen, not heard. Men are told you can't show your emotions, right? You got to be stoic. You have to, suck it up. And that type of programming causes us to do what? Suppress the emotions, right? So we have to behave in a way that's not authentic to how we feel. And then we even start to manipulate ourselves to say, okay, without understanding a wide range of emotions, we just sort of feel like, well, we're stressed or we're upset, and we focus on, the negative. And yet a lot of times, someone like me, what I realized is that if I was feeling scared, which is really hard for guys to admit, man, fuck, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared about this situation, right? So that we have this program. You can't show that. You can't show that. And it's not even about showing it. And the problem is that if you feel scared, you're expressing anger. And it's because you want the person that you're conflicting with or misunderstanding or afraid of them leaving, you want them to feel how you're feeling. So this is a convoluted, emotionally wounded form of communication, to where it's like you feel like you're scared. You genuinely are afraid of whatever's happening outside of you, and you need the people that are involved to feel how you feel. But you show anger, that's how it is. A guy like me being angry but is going to make people feel afraid. There's no doubt about it. And you can probably relate to this. What's up, SoCal? Oh man, we got a lot of sun here in northern New Mexico, but half of my life, adult life, was in Southern California. Graduated from Huntington Beach High School, did my military time on Camp Pendleton. Both my kids were born in San Diego, so I got mad love for SoCal. And so the big breakthrough that most men are seeking is to be able to, oh shit, 29 stumps, man. I have some funny memories of 29 stumps when I was a corpsman with the Marines. One time we were out there on Easter on the crazy. There's one range that's like, I don't know. It's a crazy range. Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We almost served about the same time. And I was 96 to '01. And it snowed on us on Easter Day in Southern California. And there was an earthquake the night before. It was wild, man. It was wild and crazy. But so the thing that most men, I believe, desire, right, is deep down we want to trust ourselves. We want to be appreciated by those that we provide for, right? A lot of men, most men out there are good-hearted, hardworking, right? Upright type dudes. Like straight up, I believe that. I believe most men have pure intentions. They want to provide, they're willing to work hard, but there's just something about it that they don't feel appreciated. They don't feel loved, right? They don't feel seen, they don't feel heard. And the problem is that we're programmed to look for all of those things on the outside. And when you look for it on the outside, the chances are if you can't look inside and be happy and proud with just being who you are versus what you're able to do for someone else, it's going to leave you empty. It's going to leave you coming up empty because you're putting a lot of pressure on someone else to be your happiness, to be your fulfillment, to complete you, right? And there's so many limiting beliefs around this. Have you ever said, "Oh, this is my better half," right? She completes me, right? Like it's not true. You don't want two half people. You want two whole and complete, healed, healthy, secure people coming together, and then you create it's like a third entity. It's a third thing that's the relationship. But to think that you would want, it's these, and it is, it's in our communication, and people get really triggered because this stuff's ingrained in us. What's up, my brother? I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful, even if life is challenging in many ways, right? It's having that positive mental attitude, right? It's honoring the fact that, this morning I woke up. For one, I couldn't sleep that great last night. I got up at like 2 and I didn't sleep that great. I did get back to sleep, but then I know I have a program. I have a program. I have a routine, and this is what I'm here to share with you all is like, no matter how you wake up feeling, you get to be the master of how you play out this day. And it all starts in the mind. It all starts in the mind. And this is men mostly, right? I appreciate that there's women involved here. I know my greatest service to women is to be able to help men get to where I've been and where I'm going and where I am right now, which is I trust myself. It's the greatest gift I've ever given myself. We're up on Christmas. The greatest gift I ever gave myself was I can trust myself. I can be in any type of interpersonal, heated exchange, feeling misunderstood, frustration, all this and that. And it's like, I can do life on life's terms, and I can use words and sometimes space to be able to process and not act or respond in a way that's going to cause me to have to clean up my mess and potentially push people I genuinely love and care about out of my life. And that is the difference. It's not about having self-control, it's about having self-awareness. What does self-awareness means? It means that one, you need to realize you need to be conscientious, present, fully present, not distracted. You need to know when your mood shifts. When that mood shifts, or even when it's just the default of the morning, you're asking yourself, okay, well, how do I feel? Like to have these internal conversations. This isn't something you're externalizing with lovers, partners, spouses, children, even friends. No one's really able to handle your emotional burdens and your baggage other than like someone that's a professional, someone like myself that's like a peer mentor, right? But most people that are in your circle of influence that are a part of your life dependent on you, they're not signed up for that. They can't handle it. I promise you, they can't handle it, right? Until you get to a place where you're fully whole, complete, healthy, secure in your relationship with yourself, and then you've attracted someone that's also on that same path, then yeah, you probably can have some conversations. But if it's anything like what I've experienced in the past, is as a guy that was broken emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, the times that I did try to find words to share like some vulnerability, something that's actually going on underneath the surface, which you can't always see, 9 times out of 10 it got used against me, which was very painful and frustrating and aggravated the shit out of me to where I would get even more furious, more upset. Even if I said, okay, I'm going to share something with you. It's not what I believe. It's just how I'm feeling. It's something that crossed my mind. I'm not going to even act on it. What up? And yet, guess what happened? It got used against me. I said, don't use it against me. I'm just sharing with you. You say you want to know more about me. You know, I'm a Scorpio, a little mysterious. And I shared it, got used against me. So, what it takes, what we need to be focused on is first being present. Well, how do you get present? Right? Usually you need to disconnect. And for me, out in nature works, but even just going outside in your backyard, if you got a little patch of ground, could be dirt, could be grass, could be sand, and you literally take off your shoes and socks. You could put on some relaxing music, maybe. Usually you don't want like a positive affirmation thing. You usually want just something that's like a 528 frequency, that's a healing frequency. And you just, even if you're just sitting in the sun, you want to be present. But a lot of times these shifts in our mood, they happen consistently. We're constantly shifting. And if the only thing that we understand, which is most of us, that there's 4 primary emotions: happy, sad, angry, mad. Happy, sad, angry, mad. 3 out of the 4 are negative. So what is that? What should that tell you? What that should be telling you is that if you're someone that is kind of hard on yourself, you're super critical about life and everything that's going on, welcome, Bree. That you have to be that much more intentional, because 3 out of the 4 baseline emotions that we know, and there's way more, are negative. So that you have to literally go double. For every one of those, you need 6 positive, because there's really only one. But if you want to overcome, if you're trying to overcome your negative programming, your negative beliefs, right? That negativity inside of you, that doubt, that fear, you have to be 6 times more, right? Positively influenced. Well, where's that going to come from? It's not going to come from your mind. It's not, until you start to develop it. The number one tool and reach out to me if you want some very specific resources, are listening to positive affirmations throughout the day. Anytime your mood shifts, put on some positive affirmations. You literally need to infuse yourself constantly if you are wired and geared towards a negative baseline of reality where you're doubtful. And most people are right now. There's so much uncertainty right now in this world. But the one area that you have control on is all the world around you. No, it's not. The only thing that you absolutely have 100% control over, and some of y'all don't believe this, is yourself, is what you're thinking and how you're feeling. Now, does that mean that instantly you're going to feel happy, loving, kind, joyful, abundant, successful, optimistic? No. Just like anything, it takes practice and it takes consistency, right? And you have to be relentless. You have to be relentless. When I started down this path 12 years ago, hitting that final rock bottom moment in my life, right? Not one DWI got me to do it. My second DWI didn't get me to do it, right? It was finally getting arrested for a domestic violence with my ex-wife and just being at the absolute lowest of lows, saying, I can't do this, man. I either should be dead in prison or I need to fucking turn it around, man. And not just temporarily, not just looking for temporary relief. I am sick and tired of feeling this way. I know that there is something better inside of me. There's a better way. And that's really what brought about the results kill excuses mantra. It's a mantra because I was full of excuses. You know, you're full of excuses. I can't do that. I'm too old. You know, I don't have the means. I don't have the time. I don't have the this. I don't have the that. I don't feel good about it. I don't, you know, I've got this issue. I've got that issue. You know, you're lucky. Wish it could be like you. It's like all of that is lies that you're telling yourself. It's lies. And when will you give yourself permission to challenge those limiting beliefs? That's what it takes. We find security in these stories that we've told ourselves. And most of them are based on our past failures, our past experiences. And just because you fucking sucked yesterday, that doesn't mean that today has to suck. Today could be the greatest day of your life. But do you want to create that for yourself? Do you want to set that intention first thing in the morning that you are worthy? Repeat after me right now. Right? Repeat after me if you're engaged in this. I'm not here for entertainment purposes. Welcome to the show. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to guide you, mentor you, coach you, inspire you, and show you what has worked for me to heal, to truly feel proud of myself, to look at myself in the mirror and be proud of who I am, to know that I transformed myself from that rock bottom moment, just total shame. Repeat after me. I am worthy of having good things happen to me today. I am worthy of having good things happen to me today. I am worthy of having good things happen to me today. Like, we need to wash our minds. We need to speak positivity, affirmations of that expand us past our current situations. Some of y'all are going through some crazy stuff, and it's the law of attraction. It's something I believe that what qualifies me to talk with such clarity and flow and truth is because I'm speaking from my first person experience. This is not something I learned other than through the hard knocks of life. No one taught me this. I had to teach myself. And I made a decision way back when, 12 years ago, when I hit that rock bottom, man, that I'm not turning back. I'm done. I know that I didn't want to test how many more chances I had, how many more relapses I could could go for, right? Or how I could say, let me just figure it out all on my own, not ask for some help in terms of medical, professional help, getting therapy. But I knew that even just talk therapy wasn't enough. I tried all kinds of therapy and I continue to. And I know the things that have worked for me. And that's all I could share with you is the things that have actually worked with me. Does that mean that we're all one size fits all? No, it doesn't. But I do believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And my esoteric beliefs around that alone, are definitely going to challenge a lot of people's, values and their beliefs. It's crazy. I had been talking about reincarnation recently, an article just came out that I think it was the U.S. Army or the Air Force did a study, and there's evidence that actually supports that reincarnation is valid. Google it. If you're questioning it, Google it. It just came out. It just got released. It was like a classified study. I think it was the Army that has evidence now that reincarnation is actually real. And I know that challenges a lot of people. And I can promise you that throughout my own upbringing, I grew up agnostic, right? I went to a Catholic high school. I got kicked out of a Catholic high school because I wasn't Catholic. I was the troublemaker. Top athlete, but I, work hard, play hard type mentality. And then I remember when I was in the military, I got deployed to the Middle East with the threats of war and all this other shit going down, that I went to the chaplain, said, man, I ain't never been baptized. What happens if I die? He's like, you ain't been baptized. He did a little thing there. And right, I was supposed to be good. And then I remember I just had some other rock bottom moments, and yet I've had some Jesus moments, and I was like really deep into Christianity. And when I look back, right, when I was really deep in Christianity, I'm talking preaching the word, I'm talking about doing even worship, like getting way out of my comfort zone, singing some worship stuff, helping out with like the kids, kingdom type stuff. And it's like underneath the surface, I still felt like I didn't trust myself. I can remember arguing, like yelling, screaming matches with my now ex-wife on the way to church, and then getting out and, hey, how you doing, brother? I'm doing good. Awesome, bro. Amen, bro. And yet, here's what I realized, and I think I know I triggered somebody in the comments recently last night, and it's because it's what I've experienced, and I talk about this all the time. Total health, complete health, right, is mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health. Not in any particular order. And my thing is I was commenting, and let me know if you agree or disagree with this, but if you put a big emphasis on your spiritual health, right? You're super religious, you're super into Jesus, you're super into whatever it is, your spirituality, right? Does that instantly make you physically healthy? If you become a super religious person, are you now physically healthy? My answer is no. I mean, most of the churches I used to go to, all they were doing was serving like the worst type of snacks, like donuts and just really unhealthy food, and a lot of unhealthy people. But spiritually healthy, unhealthy physically, spiritually healthy. So then why wouldn't that same premise apply, that if you're spiritually healthy, that doesn't make you mentally healthy? Does it make you emotionally healthy, especially if you have subconscious programs from your childhood, 0 to 10? The Bible doesn't talk about how to heal that. It does not give you a way how to get through trauma. It's the only word. Look, try and find trauma in the Bible if you're that type person. And I'm not discrediting it. I'm telling you that you need to have you need to have spiritual health as a part of your life, a connection with God. I'm not preaching religion here. And what I know is the balloons that until you get your mind right, these other things, you're going to continue to handicap yourself. That mental health, that mental clarity. Because again, I can ask you, hey, how you doing today? And you could say good just as lip service. But if underneath the surface, you're fucking a wreck, you're emotionally, mentally, physically, and even spiritually broken, but you're just you don't like again, if especially if you're a man, it's like, man, you can't be talking about your feelings. You can't tell people, hey, I'm actually really, really scared right now. I feel like my whole life is in a tailspin. But I say, how you doing, bro? I'm doing good. It's like it's bullshit. Right. And so what reality are you going to have? What you say or how you feel? It's how you feel. So what you're thinking, if you're thinking negative thoughts, that then triggers your emotions that you've programmed based on those negative thoughts. And then that comes full circle into your physical reality. That's then what you continue to experience. So the big breakthrough for you is to first open up and expand your sense of the emotional wheel. I'm going to actually jump on here and share this with you guys right now. Who here wants to see the emotional wheel? Let me see if I can. I'm going to share. So check this out. I'm pretty sure you guys all see this. So this is the emotional wheel. As I said, in that middle, right? You got here it's saying joyful, scared, mad, sad, peaceful, and powerful. Right? Most people will only say that these are the four. The powerful and peaceful are different, but look at how expansive that is in terms of emotions. There's probably some stuff on there you didn't even realize that that was an emotion. And this is where we, as men, as people, we need to expand our emotional vocabulary when it comes to self awareness. Because in your mind, you may be thinking, man, I'm really pissed off about this thing. Right. But in reality, you're not pissed off. You're feeling frustrated. You're irritated. You're feeling discouraged. You're feeling inadequate. You're feeling embarrassed. Right. There's so many other levels. And it really is a huge flex when you can really start to define what I call your flavor, your feeling flavors. It's a micro adjustments, and it's the difference between garlic salt and regular salt. Right? There's just a little extra in there. You're like, okay, this isn't just salt. This has some garlic in it. And it's understanding that so that when something shifts in you, you give it a name, you connect. It's self-soothing. It's saying, wait, something just shifted. What's going on? How am I feeling right now? Okay, I'm feeling confused. Right? And confused falls under scared right here, if you guys can see that. I'm feeling really confused right now. Well, why would I be feeling confused as it's 11:11 here, Mountain Standard Time? Well, you have this going on, you know, with your partner, and then this is going on at work. And so, okay, that's valid. That's a good reason to feel confused. right? And then that gets you out of like, well, I'm angry, I'm feeling hurt, and just these default. And so as you expand, you can start to have more understanding for who you are and what's making you tick. And you can realize that, especially for a lot of guys, we act out this mad category like crazy, right? Toxic masculinity, angry, hateful, critical, hostile, hurt, right? Even look at who knew that being sarcastic was actually a derivative of being mad. I'm a sarcastic guy. And I guarantee you that if I look back and I'm honest with myself, a lot of my sarcasm probably is rooted in the fact that I'm upset and I'm using it as a deflection. It's for the real feeling instead of saying, and it's not to say that like you can't genuinely feel mad. You could be mad, but most of y'all, it ain't even mad. You're probably scared. You may be sad. But if what you know how to act out is mad, right? It's because you want someone else to feel sad. You want them to feel hurt. Is this making sense to you guys? I hope so. Stop sharing that. I just think that that's something that a lot of us don't. This is the game. This is what it takes. This is what most men are missing, is expanding your emotions, because all we've been doing is expressing it, right? Or suppressing it, suppressing the emotions and acting as if somehow we're controlling ourselves when you're not. I guarantee you, if I was to go and ask, right, and take a survey of all the people that have been in your life very close, whether close relatives or partners, previous partners, and say, how was this person on their worst days, right? It's going to come out that you are being emotional. And a lot of times that leaves you feeling guilty. It leaves you feeling alone. Because at the end of the day, most men, which have little boys inside of them, were shamed, right? We were shamed to express feelings. And still society looks at it as like, man, you don't be a fucking pussy. Don't be a little bitch. And if you don't like that language, I'm pardon the French, but that's how it comes up from time to time here. It's real talk. And yet we suppress how we feel. And yet what's the result? You have 50% of men overweight, right? And a large portion of that are obese. You have 2,000 men every day killing themselves. Those are real stats. We're eating our feelings, overeating our feelings. Every time that we have something get triggered, it's like there's a craving. What are you craving? Well, maybe you're craving drugs, maybe you're craving alcohol, maybe you're craving nicotine, maybe you're craving food, maybe you're craving shopping, maybe you're craving sex or porn or, gambling. These are all addictive patterns, but they're all literally only providing temporary relief. Temporary relief. And if you want long-lasting relief, it's time for you to give yourself permission, right? To say, all right, I want to work on myself. I want to work on myself. I want to look in the mirror, and I have the courage to do it. And the cool thing is you don't got to do it alone, right? If you want to do it alone, go for it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to really stick with it, because the old patterns, the old habits are going to take time for you to overcome, to create the new habits, the new patterns. And that's why I like to call myself the greatest accountability partner on planet Earth, because I will hold your ass accountable. And I'm walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And if you would like to connect with me one-on-one, feel free to reach out. I have a new email, greg at resultskillexcuses.com. I really appreciate the people that have reached out to me. And I've had a lot. I've had a lot of you reaching out. And it takes courage. It takes courage to ask for help, right? I hit my rock bottom. I said, I'm done, man. I can't do this no more. I knew alcohol was my biggest vice. And I needed to at least eliminate that from my life. Again, I'd had one DWI and I didn't even take that one serious. My second one, I got sober for 3 years, but it was out of anger. I was angry. I felt like I had gotten like kind of set up, really bad situation. So I was just fucking pissed. And then the last one was, I was just in so much pain. And it wasn't even from that. It was from a lot of life experiences that had kind of overwhelmed me. And I was using alcohol to just numb that, to self-medicate. And it wasn't giving me the answers, and it was putting me at a lot of risk. And eventually, right, I hit that rock bottom. And I know a lot of other men that I've helped along the way that show up very anxious, very eager to like, put in the work or figure out how to get some relief, because you're coming with the same mindset that you came with that got you there, which is like, fuck, I don't feel good. How do I make this feel better as fast as possible? And that's a pattern. That's a habit that you've created. And instead you need to like zoom out and realize that if you want to embrace on this healing journey that leads you from destruction to self-discovery, self-improvement to self-mastery, right? There's an evolution here. You're going from self-destructive to self-discovery to self-improvement to self-mastery. It's not about something you do for a month. It's not something you do for a year. It's until the wheels fall off. It's for life. And that mantra is 1% better every day. I appreciate you guys. I'm here for you. I mean, this is genuinely the calling on my life right now. A lot of you are saying, well, I don't know what my purpose is. Your purpose is is to become the best version of yourself. But do you have the courage and strength to look in the mirror and say, what can you work on today? What needs to improve? And again, the areas, mental health. If you have a lot of negative thoughts, well, guess what? Some ways to make some improvements, listen to positive affirmations. If you send me an email, greg@resultskillexcuses.com, just give me a little snapshot of kind of some things you're going through, a little of your background. I'll send you some custom affirmations that can probably help you with your circumstance. You need confidence. I got some stuff for you on confidence, worthiness, right? Addiction, recovery, self-sabotage, you name it. Send me a snapshot. I'll send you some affirmations, right? So you can start there, right? That's one way to improve. Right? Another way to improve on your emotional health is, again, I just showed you that emotional wheel. Look it up for yourself, the emotional wheel. And really just like start to learn and expand. It's going from something really small to something much bigger. Realizing that, no, it's not just angry, mad, happy, sad. And again, the reason why the peaceful and the powerful don't even come up for most people is because you're not positively wired. But that's where you want to go. You want to wake up every morning and saying, I'm worthy of having good things happen to me today. I'm powerful. I'm amazing. I'm abundant. I'm loving. I am loved. I'm unstoppable. I'm invincible. I am so grateful for all that I have. Right? But a lot of us don't, we're not in that. And I know this. This is why I'm here, is to help guide you to that side of the emotional wheel. Because that's actually your true self. That is actually by default who you are. Life's circumstances have caused you to put on, all of these false beliefs and carry that shit around. And it's weighing you down. And you need to just like let it go. Let those things go and shift that mindset. But that's the self-improvement, right? So your mind, is it positive or negative? It comes down to something that simple. Is it positive or negative? Are you I can do it or I can't do it? Are you growth mindset? I love learning new things every single day and allowing myself permission to be a beginner. Or are you a fixed mindset? I know it all. Can't teach me new things. I'm too old for that shit. You know. And then the emotional health is really connecting with how you really are feeling. If you're sad, if you're scared, if you're hurt, if you're irritated, if you're just always being a sarcastic person, like where does that come from? What's really going on there? And then what you need to develop is the communication and the confidence to be able to express this stuff. And I'm grateful. The number one person that helped me to develop the communication was my therapist. She used to go scenarios with me, and I do that too with you. If you ever get with me one-on-one coaching, we can go through and do. You have to want it. Of course you have to want it. That's the number one thing. If you don't want it, again, I'm not here to entertain you, and I'm not here to compel you to do these things. I truly do believe that I'm putting out a frequency into this world, and it is attracting people that are genuinely ready to put in the work. Again, I go back to my origin story. When I hit rock bottom, nothing was going to stop me from getting results. Nothing was going to stop me from that. And there was plenty of opportunities. And just because I gave up alcohol, my life didn't get better. That just cleared my mind enough for me to say, oh, fuck, I got a big mess here. I got a lot of work to do. I ain't got time for the sports. I ain't got time for this other shit. I got to work on me. And as I work on me, guess what? That's when life starts to get better. When you start to work on who you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That physical health matters too, right? Our food is poisoned right now. There's all this shit going. There's so much information, and we know this, but yet we're so programmed. We want convenience. We want expediency, right? And a lot of us act as if we don't have time to go shop for healthy foods, to learn how to cook healthy meals, to meal prep, right? To be disciplined. No, we want food to be our pleasure, which really it's not just our pleasure. It's our addiction. And to think that most people could really be fine with less than 2,000 calories a day, but most people probably eat like, who knows, double that. And so garbage in, garbage out. If you're eating and this food issue is super sensitive because it's something we put into our body, right? And there's a lot of insecurity around food. There's a lot of insecurities about our being obese or being overweight and acting as if somehow you're helpless. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. It is not. You are not helpless. You are just undisciplined. You are also, if you heal your mental and emotional issues, right, it's going to make it a lot more easier for you to say no to unhealthier foods, because you start feeling genuinely better about yourself, emotionally speaking, that you can then start to back that up by eating healthy, which is going to make you even feel that much better about yourself. Putting in real food that has real vitamins, minerals, nutrients that truly make you feel better. I mean, this wasn't even just a handful of years ago, man. I dropped like 65 pounds. I had let it go, man. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die in my sleep. Yeah, so there's no question about it. One of the hardest parts about this healing journey that keeps a lot of people held back. And if you haven't yet, download the app. Results Kill Excuses in your app store. The first 5 courses, one of them is, yes, I'm holding myself back. Right? You are holding yourself back. Ain't nobody in your way. Nobody's holding you back other than you. But here's where most people get scared and give up, is because in your mind, you try and empathize and say, well, if I get better and do all this stuff, then I don't know if I want to lose all these people that are currently in my life, which all that's hypothetical. There is some truth in that, but there shouldn't be fear in that, because at the end of your life, are you willing to, I mean, and it's a decision you got to make with yourself, but do you want to look back at your life and say, fuck, I got a lot of regret that I didn't do more things for me. I was worried about other people, and even the people I was worried about eventually abandoned me at one point or another. If right. And the cool thing is, when you go on the healing journey, just know that it's part of that spiritual health, where it's like, what do you think this whole experience is about? Is it really just about working hard, grinding, paying your taxes, paying your bills, right? Watching other people work it, like, what is this really about? Or is this sort of like this spiritual playground for us to truly find our true self again? That we've experienced all of these things, and that all of these people that have come into your life, that then you now have attachment, which is toxic, it's a part of a trauma response, right? But that they came into your life to help you to evolve. And if that means releasing them, then they're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Look at your body right now. Is there any appendages? Is there a person attached to you? No. So that should tell you that if no one's attached to you, then that means nobody's assigned to you for the whole entire life. They have their freedom, and so do you. And by you doing, the beautiful thing is if you can truly find in yourself that the greatest thing for you to do is actually this, go all in on this healing journey, this self-discovery to self-improvement, to eventually getting to self-mastery, to transcending your pain, to transcending the ego and the hurt, that's the best thing for you, and it's the best thing for them in this life. And I believe that we do lots of lives. But it's so hard because we have addictions to not only things, but to people. I've struggled with that. I think there's some days that I'm still trying to shake some addictions. And it's mental addictions, because they're not attached to me. Is anybody attached to you right now? No. But mentally and emotionally, they are. You if you keep replaying a longing and a hurting that someone is no longer there, guess what's going to continue to play out in your life? A longing and a suffering that nobody's there. Even when someone shows up, they're not going to stay. You have to shift. You have to be, right? You have to be. Be what? Be the greatest version of yourself. You have to be the most incredible partner. The healthiest version of you is going to attract the healthiest person for you. But if you're negative, if you have unhealed wounds, emotionally speaking, who do you think you're attracting into your life? People that are going to mirror back to you what is inside of you. And a lot of people get triggered by this because they're in a victim mindset. They're saying, oh, I don't understand why all the narcissists always show up in my life. And it's like, wait, you're the constant. You're narcissistic. But people they can't see it. They don't want to see it, which is a state of denial. It's denial, which is the first stage of grief, just being in denial. So it takes all of that, man. It's laziness. I mean, negativity. I'm like inherently, I think almost everybody's a lazy person. In modern society, there's every reason to just veg out and be lazy, right? If you go back, not even probably that many generations, man, like if you were lazy, you weren't going to eat. You had to go and like kill your food and grow your food. There's no time to be lazy. But in this day and age, nah, man, you could be lazy. You can wake and bake. You can roll out of bed. You can grab something out of the freezer, put it in the microwave, right? Roll back up on the couch, turn on the tube, and literally next thing you know, it's the next day. You could be lazy. It's easy to be lazy. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind being the villain because I know what I'm serving up. I get a lot of references on the mustache, right? I'm out here in New Mexico. It's Wild West. And I actually do appreciate the people that get triggered by my look. It's the funniest thing, right? People that get triggered by my look. And it's like, okay, great. I'm cool with me. I'm 100,000% very confident with who I see in the mirror. Naked, right? With who I see in the mirror, right? Spiritually, who I see in the mirror. Mentally, who I see in the mirror. It's because I have the proof. Like I truly do love myself, genuinely, unconditionally. And I would love to show and guide you to do the same. We'll do that today. We're still gonna do some breath work and we're gonna do a visualization. Because again, I'm not just here for entertainment. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a guide, and I'm here to help not only just talk, but to show you, to teach you these practices so that you can, work on yourself. So you can truly embrace these things. But I don't mind being the villain. In the past, it's like, oh man, I had such a fear of abandonment. I had such a deep rooted seed of needing acceptance. And it's like, nah, man, I'm okay being a lone wolf. But I'm not alone anymore because I believe that this collective, this community, is like, you're called for this. There's something really special inside of you. I know that based on what you have expressed to me, the audience watching this Results Kill Excuses channel, the things that you're sharing with me, whether it's in the comments down below or in private, it's like if you all saw what I saw, which is with spiritual eyes, that there's something really, really amazing within you. Like, I truly do believe the bigger the hardships you've been through, the bigger the struggles, the bigger the challenges, It's the law of equal and opposites, right? So it's like if you've had incredibly challenging circumstances throughout your life, that means that your breakthrough is going to be equally as incredible. But yet, you don't need to, you don't have to truly understand that at this moment. It's helpful if you can see that. It's helpful if you can give yourself permission to start to reinvigorate the vision, the desire, and the dream inside of you. Because I guarantee you, you're the only person on this planet that has your dream. And that dream is connected with gifts that are inside of you that need to be developed, cultivated, shared with the world. Like, this is what this is all about. This whole channel is about my calling to help people overcome themselves, to become the best version of themselves. I can't do the work for you, right? I can inspire you. You can borrow some of my confidence. I can cheer for you. I can keep putting this message out there, which I will, but I can't do the work. I can't wake up first thing in the morning and for at least 5 minutes check anything less than positivity and then just start to like have positive affirming affirmations flowing through my mind. I can't do that for you. You have to do that, right? You then have to do, you know, a series of other things that set you up for success. And I usually break this down to 5 things, right? And here's the simple way. Mind your mornings, eat your health, move your booty, learn every day, and lend a hand. Right? Those 5 things are the principles for my daily living. And what I mean by that more in depth is mindful mornings. My mindfulness consists of positive affirmations, breath work, prayer, meditation, journaling, grounding and earthing, sun gazing, right? These are all practices that help to set my intention and to set my day up for success. Does that mean that I don't have bad days? I may have a bad minute, a bad hour, but I'm going to still turn the script and say, how can I learn from this? Whatever is challenging that can come across as being like disruptive to my goals in life, I always say, what can I learn from this? How can I learn? So I start with that mindfulness in the morning. Then before fitness is nutrition, right? Nutrition matters. It's the 80-20 rule, right? If you are overweight right now, it's not because you're not exercising. It's because you're overeating. You need to regulate your intake. And so having a desire to say that you're willing to make adjustments to what you're eating, to really inventory these things and understand that what type of food can give you life, energy, vitality, right? And what food makes you feel sluggish, makes you feel full, makes you feel low energy, right? And ultimately gives you a result where you are obese, you are overweight. And that's a tough one. And that's something that I love to cook. That's a big part of my routine. I want to help other people learn how to cook healthier meals. But nutrition's number 2. Then number 3 is exercise, right? Even if you just start with walking vigorously 1-2 times a day, every day, or you start some kind of a cardiovascular exercise as a part of your weekly habits. This is like there's not room for you no matter what you're saying or what you're thinking. "Oh, you don't know. I'm this. I got that going on, all the health issues." I can guarantee you most of your health issues, um actually, well, it's kind of it's all connected. A lot of people have health issues because of their mind, right? That's the importance of having this healthy, positive mind. If you have a negative mind, like your energy is low, which opens you up for more illness, right? If you're someone that has emotional wounds, right, you're going to be more susceptible to stress, which ultimately is going to cause you to eat things that are unhealthy, which is ultimately going to cause you more health problems. It all connects. It all connects. And so the nutrition is number 2, right? Mindful mornings, nutrition, exercise, personal development, self-improvement is number 4. It's literally waking up every single day saying 1% better today, me versus me. How do I learn? What can I learn today that makes me a more valuable person tomorrow? What are you not allowing yourself to learn? Do you need to do the self-discovery courses? Results kill excuses in your app store. This is over a month's worth of really valuable content. All you need is a printer, or you can purchase one of these from me, which is a bound workbook already ready to go, or you can just print out. I've literally given you guys, made it as simple as possible. All you got to do is watch a video, print out the worksheets, you know. There's even walkthroughs of me filling out the worksheets if you don't understand even that, if you're confused about it, but it's there. That's self-improvement. Self-improvement's also if you've been thinking about starting a business or going back to school to get a certain credential. I mean, whatever it is, it's just saying that you're wanting to learn things. Self-improvement is saying, man, I think yoga's for, you know, it's for chicks. Hey, but you're like, I don't know, for some reason I want to just go try something new. Trying something new, right, is self-improvement. It's giving yourself an opportunity to discover who you are. Most of us don't. Most of us, we're all stuck on the past, right? We're stuck in the past, identifying all that with our present, and that's keeping us held back. When we need to see a vision for our highest potential and then re-engineer that by being that, right? And knowing that there, like the things that the most resistance comes up is, right? Is it a health issue? Is it a wealth issue? Or is it a relationship issue? Those are like the principles of life. The biggest areas of people's life is health, wealth, relationships. What are your visions for those things? And then it's re-engineering it. If you want to have a better relationship, right? I'm always telling you. I was in the Navy. I was a corpsman with the Marines. If you want to have a better relationship, I always tell people, write down descriptively your perfect dream partner. Every characteristic. And usually this is a walking kind of like you can sit there for maybe 30 minutes and you're going to write down like, I want someone that's healthy and sexy and smart and intelligent, responsible, loyal, committed, right? Available, adventurous, like all of these things that you would just like your dream partner has it all and you need to write it down. And then guess what you need to do? You need to become that person. It's the law of attraction, right? If you're someone that's unhealthy, you're not going to attract a healthy person. you're gonna attract somebody that's unhealthy. But if you desire to be with somebody that's healthy and active, right? Then that's what you're gonna do. If you want somebody that's gonna be uh that you're the biggest sports fanatic on planet Earth and like you gotta watch wall to wall sports in your games, and if that's what you want your chick to be a bro, then write that down. That's on you. Right? I see that a lot. I see a lot of women, man. They're like, you go. I've been on some dating apps in the past, and it's like it's so unattractive to me seeing chicks trying to be dudes, beer drinking, jersey wearing, sports chicks. I'm not. I don't. That's not my style. If you want better health, well, you need to visualize who that healthier version of you is, and I've proved it to myself. I was in my mid-30s, grossly overweight, super depressed, super anxious, all self-destructive, and I switched up my nutrition completely. I went from literally Western diet to a vegan diet, and it changed my life. I went from like pre-diabetic to like optimal, testosterone through the roof. I'm all natural too. I don't do no bullshit. I don't even do pre-workout, lifting all this crazy weight. If I show up, I'm ready to go. And so you have to reverse engineer that. What does a healthy person eat? What do they not eat? Right? And so the other piece is wealth. Wealth is so triggering. If you're anything like me, all I remember growing up is my mom and my stepdad just always fighting about money and bills. And, money was just such a volatile situation that I saw that playing out in my own adult life. And so I've had to totally eliminate all those old beliefs about money and wealth and success. And I've given myself permission to redefine all that. Right. And I don't talk a lot about the things I have, but man, I have a 21-acre ranch, a five-star Airbnb, like top 5% of all Airbnb listings, right? Multiple sources of income. I am living my best life. I am very successful right here, right now. And just a year ago, I was unemployed, which is crazy. It can happen quick if you go all in. Like no cap, man. Like last year, I had the bottom fall out on one of my primary sources of income, a total falling out in a work environment. I'm grateful that I've established multiple sources of income, but the bottom fell out and it left me in a tailspin. And I can remember going into Christmas this time last year, man, there was I got kids and I'm like, fuck, I felt like such a loser because the finances were so tight. But I'm also someone that's willing to do whatever it takes. So I started shooting more arrows saying, man, I'm going to apply my education, right? I got 3 college degrees. Do I think college is going to make you rich? No. But in this society, in this day and age, we still value education. Y'all know this. You're adults. You look at a job listing, one that requires a college education, one that doesn't, it's always more money. So I made that happen in my 30s, right? I went straight into the military out of high school, and I realized real quick, holy shit, all these people that show up with college degrees, better pay, better food, better housing, and they get to be in charge of everybody. Someone didn't teach me those lessons. Kindergarten through 12th grade, right? I missed those classes. So I saw that there was value on the paper, right? And I've been successful as an entrepreneur, but when the bottom fell out, 08, 09, I lost everything, you guys. I know what it is to not only hit rock bottom, right, from my addictions. I lost everything financially in 08, 09. I lost everything, man. It was terrible. It was crazy. That's what kind of led to the depression and even the accelerated alcoholism, because post that I got 1 DWI and the domestic, like, And once I hit that rock bottom, a lot of us can say, "Man, my life's over. Oh my, like, what do I do now?" And for whatever reason, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. It would have been easy to. It would have been really easy to give up along my route. It's been really tough, man. Dark nights of the soul, ego deaths, having to humble myself, look myself in the mirror and say, "Man, I'm not quitting. This ain't easy, but I'm not gonna take the chicken shit way out, man. This pain is fucking unbearable, but I'm gonna get through this night." And I'm just praying that something better is gonna be on the other side waiting for me. If I can make it through this night, if I can make it through this season, if I can make it through this situation, right? If I can just hang in there, man. But it took life on life's terms, right? Sober mind, working on myself, being consistent. So I've chalked up a lot of successes along the route, and you will too. There's things that you can't even imagine. This is 12 years ago. How would I have imagined this? But it's so wild that I have a background in marketing. I had a promotional products company, right? I designed this logo, it's like the shirts, all this stuff, man. Like it feels like all of the skills mixed with all of the pain and the life lessons have converged to right here, right now. And that's why I'm telling you, it's your time. If you're hearing me, if you're hearing what I'm saying, it's your time. 100%. Yeah, 0809 was crazy, man. Fucking modern day wagon train, dude. I had like 6 months of nonstop every weekend garage sales because I knew I was gonna have to move from SoCal back here to my home state with my tail between my legs. Go big or go home. Well, here I am. And they say the comeback is always greater than the setback, and it's true. I'm doing it, it's not that I did it wrong back then, but there's lessons that I needed to learn. And a lot of those lessons were painful lessons, but it made me the super dad, the best version of myself that's showing up for not only me and mine, but for you unconditionally. This is the greatest honor of my life. I've done a lot of stuff, man. I've gone out on a lot of disasters. I work with I volunteer, shouldn't even say work. I volunteer with an organization called Team Rubicon. And I've given hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours going to disaster zones for free, doing very dangerous work, very hard work. And even that I've kind of had a shelf because this is my calling. This is what I am required to do right now, to speak life into you, to help you to believe more in yourself, because that is the missing piece. The missing piece for your success is your belief, is believing. Has anybody ever heard of the placebo effect? Right. Have you heard of the placebo effect? Look this stuff up. It's incredible. How they do these studies with people that have right, like chronic issues, chronic health issues, literally on like their deathbed, and they say, "Hey, right, if you take this pill, you're going to heal. Like it'll reverse all of the bad issues that you have." And just because the person believes they're taking sugar pills, and the next thing you know, it's gone. Where did that come from? Was it the sugar or the belief? It was the belief. It was the belief. Yeah, I bounced out of SoCal in '08, in '09, May, it's like May 5th, May 6th, 2009. Yeah, I did. I lived in Orange County, and yeah, no, it's all for the best. That's the thing, is you can look back and be like, "Man, there was a dream." I definitely had a dream. I wanted to see my kids grow up in SoCal by the beach. I mean, I got to spend the last semester of my high school in Huntington Beach High School, and being from New Mexico, going out there to like 90210 like type situation, it was incredible. And I wanted my kids to experience that same thing, but it wasn't in the cards. And I beat myself up for far too long, thinking I was the failure when there was greater powers at play. And so I've had to transcend that. I've had to heal that. I've had to go beyond that anger, beyond that frustration, beyond that victimization, beyond that self-loathing, to realize and to accept that, hey, all of this happened for me. I would not be here without that. You can't say if I could have just changed that one thing, then everything would be so much better. Don't have that mindset. Know that everything is perfect the way it is. And it's so hard to accept that, because you're like, no, fuck, man. If you're beating yourself up, say, no, you don't understand. I have fucked up so much throughout my life. You don't understand how difficult it's been. I'm carrying around a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. Well, guess what? I can help you by guiding you to help heal some of that. And maybe that's what we get into now. Is I want to do a breath work exercise. I want to do a visualization. I do thank all of you for being here. Thank you to everyone that's new, that's been subscribing to the channel, interacting. I think the conversation really lifts me up the most. Right? And that's great, man. Recovery is a beautiful thing, you know? Life on life's terms, it's the biggest flex. It is absolutely the biggest flex. No escape routes. And yet, yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for how the conversation is going. I'm grateful for all of you that have downloaded the app. And if you would like to be entered in winning, right, an opportunity to work with me, yours truly, the greatest accountability partner on earth, whether 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, go to resultskillexcuses.com, purchase some merch, and you will enter yourself in for that opportunity. I'm going to be drawing the names on January 1st. You have from now till Christmas to do so. And it would mean the world to me, whether you're buying a sticker, whether you're buying a hoodie or a beanie. There's some cool stuff on there. I'm telling you, this brand alone is wearing your accountability and owning your success. Just rocking the brand. People will be like, dang, I like that. I like it. Everywhere I go, I like that. And so that's a part of going all in. It's a part of truly transforming your identity from your past, your shame, your guilt, to the present, and really starting to see that, man. Stuck. Yeah, reach out to me, man, privately if you're stuck on something. And if you need some clarification, or you just want to even connect one-on-one. That hurting people hurt people first is a wild course. And I'm open to feedback too. So, I mean, if there's something that you guys think I could do better, right? I'm here to learn too, right? I want to improve this. Like, I ain't going nowhere. I want to continue getting better 1% every day. So hearing your feedback as you interact with the courses, like, it's all about that. You accept Bitcoin. I could probably figure out a way to do that. With that being said, though, are you guys ready for some breath work? I'm gonna actually sit down for this. I have been standing. Remember, everything is just exactly as it is. If you were supposed to get in on the bit when it was 100, you would have got in on the bit when it was 100, right? You're the greatest value on this planet. The Bitcoin isn't the greatest value, it's you, and it's you developing yourself. So instead of saying, "Oh man, I missed out on that. I missed out on this. Man, I'm never going to get it." It's like, you're the greatest value. You are the untapped potential, the greatest return on investment. Anybody ever heard of Grant Cardone? He has a great motivational speech on this whole topic. You are the most incredible untapped potential for an ROI, for the return on investment. Crypto doesn't compare. Real estate doesn't compare. The stock market doesn't compare. NFTs don't compare. Nothing compares to you investing in you, going all in on you. He says, in one of these videos, he talks about, if you had only $1,000 to your name, how would you put that thousand? Would you put it on Bitcoin? No. You would want to invest that $1,000 into you, right? Because every investment you make on yourself, you get a return. You increase your value, and value in you becoming more valuable, the law of reciprocity, it has to come back to you. It has to come back to you. This is the whole entire piece of self-improvement. It's like, who has time to just sit back and watch successful athletes kick ass? I don't got time. I check the scores, but I don't got time to sit there. I don't. If you do, more power to you. But I'm investing in me, and I'm increasing my value 1% every day. Compounded over time, it's guaranteed you get the return. And so even though you didn't catch Bitcoin when it was 100, who cares? You can, you hit a breakthrough, and next thing you know, you got $10 million in the bank. What are you worried about if you caught Bitcoin when it was at $100 or 50,000 or 100,000 or $1 million? It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Invest in you, right? It's not, how do you, dang, I missed it, or how it's too expensive, or I can't afford it. It's like, you need to become more valuable. It's just that's where it begins and ends. And so, something new here. Let me just kind of reset the thing. I appreciate the talk so far, everybody that's been tuning in here. Thank you so much for your time. It's valuable, right? It's the only thing you cannot, right? You don't get more time. You can always make more money. You don't get to have more time. And that's why, how you're investing your time. What are you going to do today? What can you do new today that you haven't been doing, that you know you need to do, to be a better version of yourself, to hold yourself accountable? No one else, ain't nobody else but you going to truly feel better about yourself by investing in yourself. But you will help other people. So let's do the breath. Let's get into the breath work. And then we'll do a visualization to close out today. Feel free to put any questions you guys got on there in the chat. So I'm just going to So let's just go ahead and just start to connect with our natural breathing. Hopefully you're just in a comfortable place. It doesn't matter if you're laying down or seated on a yoga mat or on a chair. The most important piece is that you're comfortable, you're cozy. Maybe you have a blanket, or you're just feeling the sun shining on you, but ultimately you just want to feel comfortable. You want to be in a place where there's maybe not so many distractions. So just go ahead and Allow yourself to just kind of settle into your body and connect with your breathing. I do feel that there's some excitement, but there's also some anxiety. There's some stress right now, and so we're going to do some real deep breaths, and on the exhale, I want you to truly just kind of let out all any tension, any stress that's going on. And I'm going to demonstrate just real quick. I'm going to demonstrate what we're looking for. And I will do some holds on the inhale. And then when you exhale, you're going to want to let like all that air out to the point to where you have no more air in, that it instantly you take it that big deep inhale again. So it's sort of kind of like a real methodical in and out. So here's the demonstration of really what I want y'all to practice today as a means of stress relief. So it's going to be in through your nose, hold, and on the exhale, I mean, it's literally just like letting a load off. And something that just came up that I want us to do is on the hold, I want us to flex. I want you to like flex all the muscles you can, whether it's in your arms, your chest, your upper body, your legs, your face. I want you to like on the hold, right? I want you to just flex out. And then when we release, we're going to release. So let's go ahead and begin. Go. We're going to do a gentle breath right now. So just in through your nose, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let it all go nice and gentle, nice and slow. Just let it go. And on the end of this breath, we're going to take in this real deep breath and we're going to flex on the hold and then release it all on the exhale. So in through your nose, in and hold, flex, 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 hold tighter, tighter, tighter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let it out. And one more time, let's breathe in through our nose. Breathe in deep and hold with a flex, flex, tight, tight, tight. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it all out. Let it all out. One more time, in through your nose, deep, and hold. Flex, flex, squeeze, squeeze as much as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it all out. Let's just do a real quick clearing breath. Good job. In through your nose, gentle, and out through your mouth. One more time. In through your nose and out through your mouth like you're blowing out some candles. Just go ahead and connect with your natural breathing. Just sort of connect with yourself. How did you feel just a few minutes ago? And how do you feel now? Just check in with yourself. How do you feel now? Hopefully you feel a little less tense, a little more centered on your body. And as we just connect with our natural flow of breath, just that life force energy coming into our bodies, into our lungs, and out through our mouth. If you haven't already, I just want you to close your eyes. Just relax. Just nice and relaxed. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to picture yourself on a trail in the middle of a dense forest. It's daytime, but the forest is so dense that it's almost like an evening feeling as you're walking along this dirt trail throughout these pine trees. Maybe you hear a gust of wind blowing the trees. I want you to just notice what you're wearing. You're got plenty of gear on. You have layers, so you feel warm. You feel safe. You feel like you're supposed to be here in this forest right now on this trail as you're walking along this trail. You really feel the peace of the forest. You feel the life, the abundance. As you're walking along the trail, you see that there's a fork in the trail. And in the middle of the fork is one of the biggest trees that you've ever seen in your entire life. This majestic king of the forest tree. And the tree is just standing out so different than all the other trees. It's like it has its own aura. It has this glow. Even in this densely, almost dimly lit forest, this one particular majestic tree seems to be so different, so special. And as you just take in the tree as in awe, you're studying the bark. You're just looking up in awe to its canopy. And I want you to begin to walk up to this special tree. And I want you to give it a hug. I want you to connect with the energy of this tree. And as your arms are wrapped around it, it's as if you can feel the warmth. You can feel the pulse of the tree. You can feel the solidness and the strength of the tree. And you begin to speak to the tree and give it thanks for being there, knowing that this tree alone is what sustains this entire forest. And that this tree is connected to all other trees, and you feel that connection. You feel that life force energy. You know that this tree was there before you, before all those alive on this planet right now. And it'll be there far beyond a distant future. And I want you to ask this tree to speak a message that you need to receive right now, something that you need to hear about your life, about your circumstances, something that you need to hear of great importance for where you find yourself right now as you are embracing this tree and you feel the comfort from the tree. You feel so grounded and rooted, as if one with the tree, and the tree begins to speak to you. Receive that message from this majestic tree now. And as the tree finishes sending you this very important message that you're receiving with warmth and love and gratitude, just want you to give thanks to the tree for being there, for sharing with you such wisdom of this moment. And as you pull back your arms and step back from the tree, I want you to reconnect with this trail. And you see that there are two paths. One path is marked easy path. And the other path is marked difficult. And it is in this moment that you make a decision towards which path you choose to go. Knowing that there's no right or wrong answer, you choose your path, easy or difficult. And as you begin walking down the path of your choice, you see that there is a door ahead of you. And as you walk up to the door, I want you to really focus in on the details of the door. And I want you to reach out and grab the handle. And before you open the door, I want you to tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. And as you open up the door, you see light. And the forest fades away and it becomes a room, a space that you feel familiar with. And as you're looking around, you realize that this is your childhood room. And you start looking at the walls, you see posters, maybe you see a desk, you see your bed with the specific types of sheets, your carpet, your flooring, your closet. You're really examining this childhood room, and it's so nostalgic. And as you step into the room, you hear a knock on the door. And you walk over and you open up the door, and it's the child version of yourself, returning from a day at school. And you're excited to see your inner child, and you embrace in a hug. And the child asks you about the path you've chosen in life. And you reveal to the inner child your path. And the child turns to you and says they have a message. And you look to the child and say, please share. Receive the message from your inner child now. And as your inner child finishes sharing with you this message, you thank the inner child, and they walk out of the room. And as you're looking around the room, you notice that there's a piece of paper on the nightstand next to the bed. And you walk over to that piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, it says, the path you choose is not what's important. It's the heart you choose the path with that matters. You are able to switch paths at any time. You can do it. And you fold up that piece of paper and you put it in your back pocket. And you turn around and you see the door open back into the forest. Before you walk out of your childhood room, you just put your hands over your heart. You take a deep breath in, and you give yourself a few words of affirmation. And as you begin to walk down the forest trail again, it dawns on you that the easy road or the hard road were the same road. They led to the same destination. It was all an illusion as to what is hard or what is easy. It's who you want to become. What do you believe it takes for you to be who you are called to be? Do you need to go through difficulties? Or can you grow with ease, with grace, with love and light? And that revelation kicks in that you've been trying so hard to control and to create and to manifest and to produce. And you now know that it doesn't take that. In order to get what you want, what you desire, what you dream of, you first have to be. Then you do. Then you get. And as you walk out of the forest, the light starts to get brighter and brighter, as if you're walking towards the sun. And there's a small opening in the forest that leads to a valley. As you reach the valley, you can feel the sun shining on your face. You can feel its warmth. You can feel it on your chest, on your stomach, on your legs, on your feet, on your arms, and on your hands. You just bask in the sun. You're just grateful for this moment, this time, this space that you have chosen to be in. You're thankful for the message from the majestic king of the forest. You're grateful for the message from your inner child. And you're grateful for this message that is folded in your back pocket. As I count down from 5 to 1, I just want you to start to reconnect with your body. Maybe you need to just move your head around or to just move your shoulders, move your fingers or your toes or your legs. Just reconnect with your breath. 5, 4, 3, smile. 2, 1. Go ahead and open up your eyes. And you can do some more stretching. Yeah. Do some good stretching there. I really hope that everyone received what they needed to in both that breathwork exercise and in that visualization. I just want to clear the energy. Thank you so much for joining me today, being a part of this collective. It really does fill my heart to know that my voice is being heard. I've been talking recently in messages. There's a difference between hearing and listening. When we hear, it's like it connects with our heart, like it resonates. It's really connecting, man. Like, man, I really hear what this guy's saying. It's a connection. You're welcome. When you're listening, it's sort of passive, right? I mean, it's like you're listening to some music, listening to, talk some other talking heads, but it's not like it's catching your attention in a place where it's resonating with your heart. So if you're hearing this message, I truly do believe that your time is now, and that may sound sort of cliche or whatever you want to define it as, but I do believe that it's facts. I do believe that this is your time, that it does just take you allowing yourself to believe in your dream, believe in your vision, believe that you are more powerful than anything holding you back, anything that's got a hold of you. We're our own worst enemies. So we have to continue to overwhelm all that negativity, man, all that doubt, all that fear, all that shame. You have to overcome it. You have to overwhelm it. And it takes time. It takes a lot of practice, and it takes having the big vision of knowing that don't look for a quick fix, right? Don't look for something to the magic tricks to say, oh, I can make you better right now. No, it's one day at a time, right? 1% better every day. That's what it takes. And it's also making a commitment to yourself that you are in it for the long haul, that this is what you desire. It is the most rewarding thing ever. It's the most rewarding thing ever. Like, I don't ever miss a hangover. I don't ever miss a buzz. I don't ever miss a high. I don't like I'm so my program, my routine, my life is is filled with abundance, self-care, right? Everything, like you get so focused on this, and every single day you get a return on the investments. So if you invest in yourself today, things are going to start to shift tomorrow. That doesn't mean you're not going to hit resistance. I'm telling you, when you're new on this path, and even if you've been on it for a while, that resistance doesn't go away. It actually just gets stronger, but so should you. And you should be able to continue to renew yourself. As I see 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go, as a synchronicity on the time here in Mountain Standard Time. Is this go time? And you have to just keep going. And even if you get knocked down, get back up, dust off, and keep going. Keep going. Don't give up. Do not give up. Don't quit. Right? Just keep moving forward. If you need some help, please feel free to reach out. Greg@resultskillexcuses.com. And with that being said, I wish you guys the best day of your life. I wake up every day. I write that every single day, man. I say, God, show me how incredible life can be. Today is the most incredible day of my life. And there's no inauthenticity about that. It's true. What other day do you have? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow never comes. It's today. It's now. Make the most out of it. Live life with intention, knowing that you are worthy. Start believing it. It takes that self-confidence piece. And in order to build your self-confidence, you have to start doing little things, little steps, right? A lot of people I know that come to me wanting like the fitness and the exercise regimen. It's like they feel so insignificant. They think, man, I'm going to go every day. And it's like, no, 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 no. If you're working with me for the first 2 weeks, you're going to go one time for 5 minutes. And it's like, what? That sounds so stupid. It does sound stupid. I want it to sound so stupid that you go one time for 5 minutes because then you have self confidence. And the chances of you only going one time for only 5 minutes, if you can at least go one time, gets greatly reduced because the hardest part is going. But when you tell yourself, I'm going to go 3 times, and then you go 2 times, and then something happens, and for whatever reason, you don't get that third time in, you lose self confidence. Your word loses its value, loses its integrity with yourself. And many of us have been violating, right? Have been violating our own integrity, our own commitment to ourself. And you have to rehabilitate that. And the way you do it is by setting that bar so low, but doing it. And as adults, we feel like, nah, you don't understand. I used to be a badass motherfucker back in the day. And somehow you think you're just going to show up right after years and decades of not doing it, that you're going to show up as that. You don't. No, you got to earn it all back. If anybody's ever kind of gone through some waves of different fitness experiences, and it's not just gym, maybe you're a bike rider or a runner or a swimmer, you can't, if you're getting back into running, you're not going to run 20 miles on the first time. It's going to be like a half a mile if it's been 5 years, even if that. And yet most of us won't even give ourselves permission because we feel like we're so down on ourselves. Well, I'm a failure. It's having a long vision. When you want quick results, right? Are you really in it to win it? Because there's something to be said about what does it take for you to become the version of yourself that it's like you do become not only who you thought you weren't once were, but you're even better. I had a friend of mine a few years ago, for some reason, like an old football picture from us from high school came up. And he was like, "Dang, man," he was so pumped. "Dude, we were the shit back then. Those were the best days of our life." I'm like, "That was not the best days of my life, bro." You gotta be kidding me, dude. The best days of my life is right now. Because here's the problem. That kid back then, he thought he knew everything. He didn't know shit, man. That kid didn't know shit compared to what this man knows. And that's value for me. That is worth, and that's what makes me feel so great. Is the fountain of youth is reconnecting with that inner child. That's why we bring in the inner child so much, is because you want the fountain of youth, right? Parent your inner child. Sit back and have a conversation with the inner child. What does your inner child want to do today? Does it want to sit around and watch people play or whatever? Maybe. But maybe your inner child wants to go outside and play. Can you do that? Would you be willing to do something that you loved to do as a little kid? Would you be willing to do that as a grown-ass adult? Would you? Because I can promise you, the more you connect with that inner child, which is not gone, it's just been totally pushed to the side and told to shut the fuck up. And as you start to recultivate this relationship, and say, man, what did I love to do as a little kid? I love to go fishing. I love to ride my bike. I love to I used to play with all the action figures and build big old like warfare scenes and, doing stuff like that. I used to love skiing. Figure out what you love to do. If you love to draw or paint or roller skate or sing or go skateboarding. I have a buddy that I'm mutual friends with that he just turned 50 and he loved to skateboard as a kid. And he got back into skateboarding about a year ago, and, like, he's progressed incredibly in the last year because he was like, "I'm gonna do this." That's him falling back in love with himself, inner child. And he was showing pictures of doing deadlifts. He's like, "My deadlifts aren't progressing the way they were a few years ago, but I'm loving skateboarding. So I'm a skateboarder that can deadlift, and there's a happy balance there." I'm telling you, I promise you, if you can reconnect with that inner child and do these things, and it's not always, but you on a regular basis, it's just asking yourself, "Man, what do you wanna do today? What did you used to love to do that I'm willing to go do?" Right? Go do that. Go have fun. No one cares. People don't care about you as much as you think they do. That was a huge growing point for me, especially as a recovering people pleaser. Man, I ran into this guy. He was 28 years old the other day at these hot springs, and we had this real meditative moment with me, him, and a couple in this pool. It was like, wow, it was surreal. But we got to talking. He's a cool kid, got a good head on his shoulders, and he just kept referring, man, like, "Dude, you got big energy here." And he's like, "You just hold your space. You're doing what you want to do. Like, there's people around, and I'm doing breath work and just whatever." He's like, "Man, that's like so admirable." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, like I stopped caring about what other people think. I'm happy for me." Right? And the coolest thing is that when you get genuinely happy with who you are and loving yourself, guess what? Everyone that gives everyone else around you permission to love themselves. And then that improves the relationships. So I leave you guys with that. Go do something fun today. That's not childish, it's childlike. That's the true fountain of youth. You know the drill. Results kill excuses because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.